Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for your 2015 graduates.
Would the graduates please turn and face the platform? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fall Convocation 2015. Would you please join our vocalist, Katya Hartova, in the singing of O Canada, and then please remain standing for the invocation.
Please join me for a word of thanks and a word of prayer. Most gracious Creator, generosity surrounds us as we gather in this place. The generosity of people who have given us gifts of love and encouragement, the generosity of professors and presidents who give their time and wisdom and vision that we might grow and learn. The generosity of friends and colleagues who have given gifts of time and companionship over books and beverages in laughter and hard work, while we work together to meet deadlines and to thrive in the midst of pressures and demands. For all these gifts, we are grateful. Goodness surrounds us in this world around this place, in crisp, fresh air and a sunny day, in refreshing rains, in the people we meet and who work in the offices and shops and the streets of our city and our school, in the diversity of peoples who make this world a rich, rich place. Goodness surrounds us in crops that grow, in animals and plants, in things we have learned, and a world full of surprises. Goodness is here in degrees conferred and in the cheers of proud families who cannot remain silent. For all these gifts, we are grateful. May hope surround us as we leave this place. Hope for a future filled with curiosity, love, and joy. Hope for rewarding work and fulfilling times. Hope for a world at peace, marked by ways of compassion. And may gratitude follow us throughout all our days. Amen. Amen.
Will you please be seated? Once again, graduands and distinguished guests, welcome. I am Elizabeth Williamson. I am the University Secretary, and I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the platform party that you see before you. So beginning with the front row, on my left and your right, Russell Eisinger, University Registrar and Director of Student Services. Patty McDougall, Vice Provost, Teaching and Learning. Karen Chad, Vice President, Research. Ernie Barber, Provost and Vice President, Academic. Gerald Finley, Honorary Degree Recipient. President Peter Stoichev. Chancellor Blaine Fable. Brian Gable, Honorary Degree Recipient. The Honorable Scott Moe, Minister of Advanced Education. Bill Wazer, Distinguished Professor Emeritus, College of Arts and Science. Gary Gable, Director of Music Theatre Ensemble, College of Arts and Science. Regan Mandrick, recipient of the New Researcher Award. Alexandria Wilson, recipient of the Award for Outreach and Public Service. And in the second row, the Honorable Bill McKnight. Neetha Dick, Dean, School of Nursing, Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Linda Ferguson, Professor, College of Nursing, and member of our Board of Governors. Agnes Hertzberg, Professor, Mathematics and Statistics, Queen's University. Brian Finley, Artistic Director, West Bend Arts Festival Theatre, and our pianist today. Kathleen Gable, Senator. Nadia Prokopchuk, Senator. Peter Hano, Capacity Building Manager, Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Chief Michael Constant, Apasquayak, Cree Nation. James Wilson, Treaty Commissioner of Manitoba. Bruce Sparling, Associate Dean Academic, College of Engineering. Reza Fatui, Associate Dean Research, College of Engineering. Kent Kowalski, Associate Dean Undergraduate Program, College of Kinesiology. Hope Belinsky, Associate Dean Central Saskatchewan, Saskatoon Campus, College of Nursing. Fred Remillard, Associate Dean, Research and Graduate Affairs, College of Pharmacy and Nutrition. Stephen Milosavljevic, Director, School of Physical Therapy, and Vice Dean Research, College of Medicine. Liz Harrison, Associate Dean, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Sciences, School of Physical Therapy. Chris Clark, Associate Dean Academic, Western College of Veterinary Medicine. Trevor Crow, Associate Dean, College of Graduate Studies and Research. And in the third row, our orators this afternoon, Blessing Mudoko, Rochelle Lubin, and Dave Mensch. Members of our Senate, Jim Pulfer, Christine Wesolowski, Victoria Neufeld, and Monica Iron. Don Waleen, Associate Dean, Undergraduate Programs, College of Education. George Maturi, Executive Director, School of Public Health. Mary Ellen Andrews, Associate Dean, North and Northwestern Saskatchewan Campus, Rural and Remote, College of Nursing. Andrew Dunlop, Director, Community Engagement and Outreach. Michelle Pertula, Dean, College of Education. Beth Bilson, Dean, College of Law. Preston Smith, Dean, College of Medicine. Mary Buer, Dean, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Fran Wally, Associate Dean Academic, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Bob Tyler, Associate Dean Research, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Rajat Chakravarti, President of the Graduate Students Association. Jim Blackburn, Vice President, Alumni Association. And behind them, and I would ask them to stand, members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Would you please join me? We thank all of these faculty, administration, and members of our governing bodies. Our thanks for the work they have done by supporting, teaching, and encouraging all of our graduates. Now I would like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respect to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of our gathering place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. Please stand as you are able for the honor song. Please be seated.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you Brian Gable. Brian Gable, a graduate of the University of Saskatchewan, is one of the most accomplished editorial cartoonists of our time. Brian got his start here, drawing cartoons for the student newspaper, The Sheaf, and then later for the Regina Leader-Post. He quickly earned a well-deserved reputation for his humorous yet insightful drawings. The senior management at the Globe and Mail recognized his talent and came calling. Since then, for almost 3 decades, Brian Gable's daily editorial cartoon has delighted millions of readers of the Globe and Mail and been reprinted in publications throughout the world. And what's incredible about this run is that he produces a new cartoon almost daily. Many graduates here today can relate to that challenge. You stare at the computer screen, it stares back, and then you madly search for the ideas button on the keyboard. Brian's drawings creatively and effectively reduce a complex topic to a single image that can entertain, make us smile, laugh out loud, even at ourselves. The message that accompanies his drawings can at times be biting, make us uncomfortable, force us to think. Mr. Gable has provided Canadians with perspective on the daily issues that confront us, from international tensions to the ups and downs of the loonie to the early start of the golf season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Through it all, he has bared our national soul. His cartoons celebrate our triumphs, cushion our tragedies, and reveal our shortcomings. He reminds us about the importance of our democratic institutions and traditions. Brian's work has earned him one-name celebrity status. Think about it. There's Cher, Ronaldo, and of course, Gable. But he remains true to his roots. He has never turned his back on Saskatoon, never forgotten about his U of S days. We are lucky to have him help us make sense of this journey called Canada. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present Brian Gable and ask that you confer on him the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Mr. Gable, it's my great pleasure to say these words. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of the Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, sir. Come over here.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to begin this address with some very important congratulations. Congratulations that have been justly earned and are deserved by you all sitting here. Their congratulations are a tribute really to the work and your independent personal decision to stay with your task and to arrive here today as successes and preparing for the next stage of your life down this academic path that you've chosen into careers and life experiences that await you. It's an important day, and I encourage you just to relax and kind of allow yourself to feel very good about what you've achieved after all of that time and work. I'd also like to congratulate Dr. Peter Stoichev and wish him the very best on this auspicious first day of the next stage of his distinguished career. Each time I come back to Saskatoon and the prairies, where I was born and raised, I'm reminded of a deep culture of civility that I perceive in this province. It's not a facile or a simple kind of civility which you encounter in some places in the world, hi y'all and back patting and all that stuff. This is a real civility that I feel. And I'm reminded of it every time I come back. And to kind of explain where that feeling comes from, I invite any one of you to stand on a Toronto subway platform at rush hour, and you appreciate the opposite of that kind of civility, which is your inheritance. Part of that civility, when I was invited to come and give a short address to this group today, part of that civility says, in the back of my mind as a prairie boy, you're standing behind a podium and you're talking to a room full of people who have succeeded immensely over the last years of their academic life and are here today to celebrate that. There's a word, hubris, that comes to mind, to be standing here and saying, I'm going to give you a lot of advice and explain to you how to conduct your lives. So I'm not going to approach it that way. Because clearly you've demonstrated getting up to this point today that you've made some very important decisions and you've completed them. I got my inspiration from attending a previous convocation, my wife's convocation last spring in Toronto. And it was the first time in a ceremony where half of it was in another language. In Canada, you would expect that other language might be French, but it was in Latin. And in fact, it was half in Latin, which means that all of the speeches and addresses that we've been hearing this morning would have been accompanied by the equivalent in Latin. And initially, people were kind of rustling in their chairs, and they were going, this is kind of weird. It was the first time I had listened to Latin for that length of time. I took Latin in high school, but you know, we'd translate a sentence, take an afternoon in Latin class, and you'd work your way through one sentence. But it was the first time to hear Latin as it would have sounded historically from the time that universities were being created. And at the end of the convocation, you know, for the reception, people were just humbled in a way that was very interesting to me, because I felt it too. We were placed in kind of an environment that stretched back historically, just as we were with that honor song. When you're in a moment and you feel that history, it is a humbling experience. And so part of my address was that I think it's important for everybody, as part of the thoughts that are going through your mind today, to just celebrate the fact that the idea of a university, which started, you know, in 1400 or 1300, arguably before that, the dispersal of the Roman Empire and the preservation of the knowledge, and resulted in cities across the world with these kind of events. It's a pretty amazing thing. It's one of the successes of our culture, of our civilization. So it's an honor to be participating in that and to be celebrating that history. History is something that we don't think much about in Canada, especially in a younger province like this, but we're experiencing it and living it. And I think it's important to remember that. So that was my first thing. Just let's enjoy the fact that this has really worked. And you guys have learned a whole bunch of stuff, and you're getting ready to use it in your life, and it's worked. And that's a wonderful thing. So that's the looking back part. The looking forward part, I'm going to keep very simple. And I'm going to base it on my career in journalism, because that's really the only background I think that I can offer you any advice about the world. And I guess partly I would describe it as my life in the trenches of journalism, because journalism, particularly nowadays, can be a very vigorous, to put it politely, relationship with the world. And my career has been spent on the editorial page of a newspaper, and that's where people write letters to the editor, et cetera. And I've come to think of it as the no man's land of the newspaper, right? Because the words that come to mind are incoming fire from every angle, explosions of rage, and flashes of insight, and bursts of humor. And it's a very vital place. And my role in that place has been as a humorist in the Sturm und Drang, as an opera singer might think of that environment. So humor is what I wanted to just mention a little bit, and how it could be very important in your lives to learn how to use humor positively, because as we all know, humor can be explosively antagonistic And we've experienced that this year with Charlie Hebdo and 12 murders in a newsroom. So it's complicated. Humor, like any other art form, can be used positively, and it can create negative results. But years ago, I attended a lecture on the U of S campus. I was in fine arts. My head of the department was Eli Bornstein, and he had a casual evening conversation with the head of music, Maria Daskin, at that time. So here are these two very important people on the campus, very intelligent, very learned, and they were just comparing to each other how similar and how different are music and visual art. And Maria Daskin said something which stayed with me, one of those weird things that I've remembered many years after he said it. And he said that one of the most important things to learn to conquer in music, or learn to use well, is silence, spaces between sound. And Eli jumped up and said, that's exactly the same way in art. You know, these spaces allow oxygen, they allow light to illuminate whatever you're doing. And I think humor actually has a similar role, and I think it could apply to every one of you once you use all this academic knowledge and move out into the world. You can use it in meetings that are starting to go over the edge into disaster, and you can bring them back under control. You can be in civic administration and have a group of people holding pitchforks and torches ready to burn your administration down. And humor, used correctly, can calm a situation down. It can remind everyone around you of the humanity that you're sharing in an office space, in a laboratory, in a law, in a courtroom, in an operating room. I gave a talk a few nights ago about the history of humor in war, particularly the First World War. And going over the research, I found that humor was vital in keeping people alive in an environment that was truly horrible in every other way. And you don't have to get to that degree of desperation before humor can be very useful to you. So don't be afraid to make a joke at a time when it can be really useful and can bring things back under control. Thank you for listening to those two observations, the past and your future. I genuinely congratulate you. You've earned this. And I salute you because you've earned it because of a lot of hard work that you've done. I'd like to express my gratitude to the university, not just for this wonderful honor. I learned after that Latin convocation that the word alma mater, I knew mater because I had taken this great Latin course in high school, meant mother, but I'd never really been curious, like what alma, who knew? I learned that it meant nurturing. And so what you've experienced these last years, what you're experiencing today, is a nurturing mother, and that probably sounds strange after working midnight hours on essays and stuff, but it's really true. You have been nurtured, and you've nurtured yourselves, and congratulations. I'm honored.
Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Gerald Finley. In Canada, we in the singing business are very aware and very proud that this country consistently produces classical singers of an international notability and perhaps arguably are represented in the classical singing world somewhat strongly above what a country of our population might be expected to produce. True, many young singers complete studies or launch careers in Europe or elsewhere. However, they are Canadian and unafraid to say so when asked, and celebrate it by returning home to show their stuff. We look back in Canada historically to many great names in the classical singing world, and while preparing for this today, I benignly typed Canadian opera singer into the search engine, and I came up with I found a wiki site that listed 120 past and current Canadian opera singers with an international reputation. I was not surprised, but rather felt reaffirmed in the notion that this country continues to produce remarkable world-class singers who have made and continue to make an impact on their country and on the world by their efforts, from tenor Edward Johnson, who later headed the Metropolitan Opera for a number of years, to Pierrette Dallary, Leopold Simoneau, Lois Marshall, Maureen Forrester, the amazing George London, Louis Quilico, the great John Vickers, Judith Forrest, Edith Weens, who received an honorary degree here just 2 years ago. And then, among more recent artists, Adrienne Pizanka, Ben Heppner, Richard Margeson, Michael Schade, Russell Braun, John Relier, are you getting tired yet? And our honoree today, very notable Gerald Finley. Born in Montreal, Gerald spent his early years there before the family moved to Ottawa when he was about 8. Like many young singers, Gerald Finley got his start singing in the church choir. In Gerald's case, it was at St. Matthew's Anglican Church in Ottawa, Ontario. Though he's reported to have first been a reluctant choir boy, the non-singing activities enjoyed by choir members helped to win him over, as did recording movie and TV soundtracks. Eventually, Gerald climbed the ladder to soloist and then head choir boy. A great uncle was very influential in getting Mr. Finley into singing in church and was later able to arrange an audition that got him introduced and accepted for study by the very prestigious Royal College at King's College, Cambridge, in England. He branched into opera via institutions like the famous Glyndebourne Opera Festival, where he started in the chorus, but soon earned small solo parts and eventually leading roles. His professional career has taken him literally around the globe in opera, orchestra, and other concert halls. He is not one of those opera singers that sticks steadfastly to rending only the oldies in opera and classical music in general either. Mozart, etc., was an early staple for him and remain as such today, as it is for many opera singers. However, Mr. Finley champions new works as well, and has gained the highest possible praise for his efforts in creating memorable characters via sinuous, luxuriant singing and intelligent, emotive, and evocative acting. In addition to the fullest possible operatic career, Mr. Finley is an active, accomplished recording artist. He is, without question, one of the most respected of current and past interpreters in the world of art song. He has gained international acclaim for too many recordings to count, and these include languages of Italian, French, American, British, German, Russian songs and concert works ranging across the historic spectrum from the earliest times of Western singing through the 21st centuries. He has recorded for most of the major music labels, including Chandos, Decca, EMI, Deutsche Grammophon, Hyperion, Wigmore Hall, and our own CBC, among others. He has partnered with the most acclaimed orchestras and chamber artists in the world as well. His recording feats have brought him recognition via a Grammy Award and Juno Awards, and he was nominated as Best Artist of the Year by Gramophone magazine on 3 separate occasions. This is not an indiscriminate feat for any classical artist. Among his other awards, he also counts a 2014 appointment to the Order of Canada. He is highly considered by his alma mater, Royal College, where he is a visiting professor. He has also recently climbed Mount Kilimanjaro as a part of a fundraising project. As a citizen of Canada, Gerald Finley upholds all good things for which Canadians are known. He is of the best models for young budding artists in Canada, and we just saw this recently in our own department yesterday, where he sat and talked with us and our students, and then did some work with some of our students in a class as well. And brilliant, insightful, just wonderful stuff to watch. He enjoys an ongoing major career that has already spanned over 20 years, and much of that time has been among the highest ranks of the business. By all accounts, Gerald Finley is comfortable in himself, not pretentious or diva-ish. He is a consummate partner on stage, described by noted American composer John Adams, for whom Gerald created the role of Dr. Robert Oppenheimer in the opera Dr. Atomic, as having invested, quote, in the words and music with an emotional depth and psychological subtlety that one rarely experiences on the operatic stage. Adams further states, quote, as an actor, he is both charismatic and deeply intuitive, As a musician, he is utterly reliable and dependable, gifted with one of the most beautiful baritone voices in the world, end quote. The highly celebrated opera director Peter Sellers, again someone with whom Gerald has worked, describes Mr. Finley as, quote, one of the most riveting performers of our time, a once-in-a-generation singer who, for Sellers' production of the Finnish opera L'amour de loin, was an onstage, quote, terrifying human engine. But offstage, he couldn't be less self-absorbed and the anchor for the entire cast, end quote. Gerald Finley is of the best of choices for this honorary degree. I wish to publicly express my gratitude, and the university owes a great debt to Gerald's nominees, Dr. Joan Halmo and Professor Emeritus Agnes Herzberg and former President Peter McKinnon, for bringing him to us today. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Gerald Finley and ask that you confer on him the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Welcome. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctors of Letters honoris causa and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, sir.
My goodness, what a CV that was. Eminent Chancellor Fable, President Stoichev, members of the Senate, Dr. Gable, and my fellow honoree, and award winners, all who will receive degrees here at Convocation, your supporters, ladies and gentlemen. The stage here at this concert hall, although it's new to me, is a familiar space to me as a classical musician, although these circumstances are very unfamiliar, and my experience is much more in conveying the emotions and beauty of music through singing, written by great musicians over the centuries. I wish to honor that by a short sung performance in a few minutes. Briefly, I wish to express personally my gratitude to the many supporters of mine throughout my career who have effectively brought me here to the University of Saskatchewan, the heart of Canada, a place that can boast as a son the greatest of Canadian singers, as mentioned by Dr. Gable, the great opera tenor John Vickers. And although this is his homeland, I am very proud to be a fellow Canadian in a profession that is international, but has hallmarks of what I would call Canadian traits that are recognized as vital in the attainment of excellence: patience, perseverance, politeness, diligence, sensitivity to the plight of the less fortunate, and an overwhelmingly positive view of the world as a place to marvel at, to protect, and to try to improve. As a traveling musician, I have been able to experience different cultures and values throughout the world, and Canada is seen as a place that embodies the virtues of a leading nation in issues that other nations find challenging when confronting their history, their mistakes, and their policies of exploitation and aggression. Music is a healing art and provides opportunities for people throughout the world to collaborate, to celebrate, and to question, since it is a non-threatening universal language, mostly of peace, and of expression of emotion beyond words. Music must be seen as an essential part of a civilized society, encouraged and supported from an early age, as a fundamental human right and not seen as extracurricular. I honor music teaching everywhere, since it is the training of young people that will sustain this most essential of human activity. Music is accessible to anyone in any discipline. No less of an example is the university's own Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, Gerhard Herzberg, who, I think I am right in recounting, would warm up his baritone voice, his baritone singing voice every day while shaving. Music can now be part of our daily lives through the extraordinary increase in transmission through technology. I would like to remind everyone here, however, that it is at its most vital when it's experienced live. The one-time physical and direct emotional encounter. If any of you have yet to experience the throat singing of Canada's Tanya Tagaq, I urge you to experience this as soon as possible. Performing musicians dig deep within themselves, challenging their own honesty in the moment they perform, and demand much of their own intellectual, spiritual, and physical resources to release and share with others the personal truths that lie within and connect with each of us. It is hard work, but the payoff is the live, instant emotional connection with our fellow human being. We are all truly equal. In my brief performance shortly, I would like to offer two very contrasting pieces, which I hope demonstrate the sublime and partly ridiculous, which embody the wide possibilities that music can offer. The second piece is a favorite of mine, and is a joyous piece that embodies our childlike sense of drama and fear. Before that, Schubert's An die Musik, a short German Lied, that is song, in which the pianist and the singer simply express thanks for music, for all that it can do to help us through pain and to share in joy in equal measure. I want to thank directly my nominators, Dr. Agnes Hertzberg, Dr. Joan Halmo, and Peter McKinnon, for the privilege and honor of becoming part of the great community of the University of Saskatchewan. The eminent scholarship and industry in the sciences and the arts that go on here is truly remarkable, and I am humbly grateful to be thus honored. I have many people to thank generally, and I would ask you for a moment during the music to reflect, perhaps, on those people who have supported you. On a personal note, I want to thank my pianist, my cousin, and composer, Brian Finley, for joining me to perform these two pieces. The great singer, great Canadian singer, George London, said that luck is simply being prepared for opportunity. I wish you all a very satisfying afternoon. Good luck. And congratulations on all your accomplishments.
green-eyed dragon with the 13 tails he'll feed. With greed on little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails. Then off to his den each child he'll drag, and each of his 13 tails he'll wag. Beware, take care, and keep up on tiptoe. And hurry up the stairs and say, oh, there's a duck in your head, your pretty curly head, beneath the clothes, the clothes, the clothes. Down to the kitchen one day where the fair princess was baking. She made by mistake some rich plum cake which the fair princess was baking. That homemade cake he could not digest. He moaned and he groaned and at last went west. And now his ghost with bloodshot eyes at midnight clangs his chains and cries. Take care of the green-eyed dragon with the 13 tails. You'll feed with all little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Wasn't that magical? So thank you, Gerald Finley. And you mentioned Tanya Tagak. Actually, she was here last year as the Gail Appel Lecturer in Literature and the Fine Arts and gave a great concert the night before at the Broadway Theater. So many of us here have heard her, and she is fabulous. It was absolutely spectacular to hear you. And Brian Gable, I just wanted to say something about your work that wasn't said, or at least it's something that I think about because I happen to be a Globe subscriber, you'll be glad to know. And I always turn to what you have done in the Globe every day. And to me, it's a great voice for democracy, humorous, meaningful, but a great voice for democracy that tells us in a simple picture with maybe a simple caption under it, everything that's important, not just for that day, but what's going on in this country and around the world. Thank you very much for all your work. It's a tradition for the President to bring a message to the graduands. This is my first time doing it. I was installed only this morning. I've never brought a message to the graduands before, so, you know, bear with me. But I thought what I really wanted to talk about was why it is so significant that you are getting a degree from this university. And in fact, everybody who's on the stage here believes in some way or other that it is significant to be a part of this university. That's what I wanted to talk about. It's your day today. This program now turns to you and to all the wonderful things that you have done to achieve this moment this afternoon, all the people sitting behind you and way up above you there who have contributed to this moment in your lives. It's a very, very significant time, and I want to try to give a context to that. And it goes this way. This university has been, in my imagination, for many years, long before I moved here with my wife almost 30 years ago as a new faculty member. When I was a boy in Ottawa, the name of this university would wind through many conversations. My father was a physicist. He worked at the National Research Council there. The president of the National Research Council was from here. and another one would be from here later on, and the Nobel laureate Gerhard Herzberg, who was mentioned earlier and whose daughter Agnes is sitting on the stage with us today, with whom my father worked, had earlier been a faculty member here for 13 years and had done a lot of his wonderful work on atomic spectra here. As I went to school and university, I learned more about the history of this university, about the Cobalt-60 built and used here by researchers like Harold Johns and a graduate student at the time, Sylvia Fedorik. It was the first in the world to successfully treat a cancer patient using Cobalt-60 radiation therapy, revolutionizing cancer treatment and saving the lives of millions of cancer patients around the world. I knew about political leaders at that point who were associated with the university, great political leaders who made a difference not just in the province but in this country and beyond, such as John Diefenbaker, Raymond Nittichen, then afterwards the premiers like Grant Devine and Roy Romano and Lauren Calvert and later Premier Wall. I knew about graduate students such as Henry Tobey, who like Dr. Herzberg went on to win the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. I knew about writers like Sharon Butella and Guy Vanderhaeg, social scientists like Hilda Neatby and Mabel Timlin and Norman Ward, about music composers like David Kaplan, artists like, as mentioned, Eli Bornstein. I had heard about actors like Henry Wolfe and Kim Coates and Carol Greyeyes, and Aboriginal leaders like our Chancellor Blaine Fable, former chief of the FSIN. Those people, the positive impact they had and continue to have on the lives of others, were in my imagination. The books they wrote, the art they created, the political parties they led, the scientific innovation they drove, the public policy they changed, the leadership they provided. And I knew that long ago, almost 30 years ago, that I wanted to be a member of this university. When I arrived here, I learned more. The role of the medical college in leading healthcare innovation in the province and the world, of the College of Agriculture in leading farming innovation and research with a huge return on investment and improvement in the lives of people of this province and throughout the world, of the Western College of Veterinary Medicine and its prominent role in animal care and research nationally and internationally, the great athletes and coaches who were here and who were trained here, the fact that this is the only major university in Canada that has a College of Arts and Science that has under one roof everything from the fine arts through the humanities, the social sciences to the sciences. I learned that we are seen as a research leader in the country with Canada's only synchrotron, one of the world's most advanced vaccine research facilities at Vito Intervac, a cyclotron, excellent nursing programs and research, colleges and graduate schools of dentistry, pharmacy and nutrition, kinesiology, education, engineering, business, law, environment and sustainability, public health and public policy, as well as an excellent library system to support their work and groundbreaking accomplishments and alumni of which they can all be proud. I learned we have one of the greatest arrays of colleges and disciplines of any university in this country, and this to me is a crucial feature of who we are. Because although we do not know what the solutions are to the major challenges facing us today, we do know this, that none of them will be solved by a single discipline or a single person, but by many people from many disciplines working together. And we are poised at this university to help do that. To all of you graduates here this afternoon, reflect on these people and colleges and graduate schools and what they've contributed. And know that you have earned a degree from an institution with a history of excellence. And by virtue of this, your degree has tremendous value as you move out into the world and you make a difference yourselves. For my part, I'm humbled by these people who have gone before us, as all of us here on the stage, all of us accompanying you here today, will be by you. And I see my role to be creating always the conditions for that excellence to grow, to be valued, and to be supported. So this university has a history of excellence and a future of tremendous potential. And that is because it has had students like you today who followed a passion during the time they were here and then converted that passion into contribution, into a positive impact on others. They were compelled to do what they've done. They were drawn to it. They loved doing it, like the people you heard speak already here today. They saw the significance in what they were doing and how it contributed to their communities and beyond. They learned from faculty who were doing research, scholarly, and artistic work at a high level, as do the faculty on the stage with me this afternoon. Don't let anyone tell you to drop your dreams of a life of contribution and impact because they seem too big or too unrealistic. Seek opportunities to lead change, remembering that you were here to understand how people have thought beyond what they were told was true. You were not here just to accept received wisdom. You stand at a threshold like I do today, ready to take a step into futures that you and I can only partially discern. With trepidation, I'm sure you would agree, and with excitement, but we will do it with passion, and we will do it with compassion, the greater measure of us than how much we acquire and consume. Given that the U of S has a past and a present of excellence, what is its future? That's the question we need collectively to answer and to act upon. When the university's first president, Walter Murray, was traveling to Saskatoon to begin his work in August of 1908, he wrote to a friend that we must remember that we are building for centuries. What is the role of the modern university in a time of change, maybe a time of the greatest change humankind has seen? And what is the responsibility that all of you and I and all of us here carry with us through the great privilege of being part of this university, of having the kind of educational opportunity the vast majority of this people in this world can only dream of? One thing I know from our history is that a university is a place where problems can be solved, challenges can be met, where we see the beauty in truth and we see truth in beauty, that the arts and the sciences at their highest levels aspire to the same end. The creativity and innovation in a university are the fires that stoke the engines of change, and that the world needs that creativity and innovation desperately today. And if the world is changing faster than it ever has, and the challenges it faces are arguably the most urgent it has ever faced, I would say universities are needed now more than they have ever been, that the University of Saskatchewan is needed now more than it has ever been, that what you have achieved here is needed now more than it has ever been. We are needed globally. We know our reach is global in selected areas, that we have the expertise to solve global challenges. We have research programs such as the one led by our Global Institute for Food Security, through which we will help many, many people worldwide to have far greater access to food. We know we are needed by this country. Universities like ours, members of what's called the U15, the top research-intensive medical doctoral universities in Canada, contribute $8.5 billion in research and educate over 500,000 students annually, stimulating innovation and the economy. And collectively, all 100 or so universities in this country contribute $35 billion and are drivers of economic prosperity. Canada ranks only in the middle of countries worldwide in terms of innovation, though, and that's a key to all of our futures. And it's at risk of being left behind by surging global economies such as India's, China's, and Brazil's. Research partnerships with governments, companies, and communities are critical to ensuring that discoveries and insights advance our ability to meet social, health, and economic needs. Universities like ours, because of you, hold the expertise to make Canada a leader, not a follower in this respect. We are also needed by the province whose name we bear, whose current government is planning for growth, whose population is increasing and deserves access to training, talent, and creativity along with careers. As the province's citizens become increasingly international in origin, they need a university that values and encourages the richness of thought and culture that internationalization brings. And we know that we occupy a special place in the imagination of this city, that all great cities need a great university to forge and attract talent. As the world's population shifts from rural to urban, as it has in Canada recently, our role in the city of Saskatoon, federally designated a cultural capital of Canada and locally dubbing itself Science City, grows ever larger. But there's a challenge we face in this country, and you can help with it.
that will define whether or not we can say we have fulfilled the mission of the modern university. And it takes the form of the calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We must become the best place we possibly can be for Aboriginal students and their communities in this province and beyond this province. That is a crucial role for the modern university in this country, to respond to the most urgent issue of our time in this country, and in so doing to play a role in reimagining Canada. And you can be a part of that too. How can Canada do this if its universities cannot? I ask myself that. How can Canada do this if its universities cannot, if its university graduates cannot, if its alumni cannot, if we cannot? The University of Saskatchewan has been doing a lot to achieve that, but it's not yet enough. And the TRC's calls to action make that crystal clear. I can tell you that other universities in this country look to us to make a difference in this regard. They're trying to do a lot as well, but they're also looking to us. And so I ask myself and I ask you, if not us, who? And in the wake of the TRC's calls to action, with the country's 150th anniversary approaching, if not now, when? If not us, who? And if not now, when? That is why I say that this is a university whose future rests on its great potential to inquire, to inform, to innovate, and to indigenize. We will know more after the Chancellor and I, in partnership with Assembly of First Nations Grand Chief Perry Bellegarde, co-host a national forum for university, Aboriginal, and student leaders on the TRC's calls to action for post-secondary institutions on November 18th and 19th. What indigenize means to me right now, though, is that we rethink and be open to rethinking what we mean by inquiring, informing, and innovating to become a more welcoming place for Aboriginal students. It is bringing together Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal traditions of inquiring and informing and innovating for everyone's benefit in a spirit of tolerance and respect. It means a concerted and cooperative effort to respect, expand, and enrich the knowledge systems, ways of knowing, languages, traditions, heritages, and experience of Aboriginal peoples of Canada in tandem with the other knowledge systems of the great minds at the university. In this space this afternoon, we are part of, you are part of, the exponential power of this university's community that goes on long beyond the years that you have spent, the precious years that you have spent in your lives here so far. I am honored to assume the role as its President and Vice Chancellor, but I'm particularly privileged that you, our graduates, your families, all of those who have supported you are here today. And I am, with all of you, united in a desire to do what's right, to make a difference, to take our honored place among the best, and to use that place of privilege for the benefit of all. Together, we are building for centuries. Congratulations to all of you for the years that you have spent here, the hard work you have put into your time here, and for the fact that you will shortly cross the stage with pride and a real sense of accomplishment. Good afternoon, everyone.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the University Senate and Board, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the bylaws, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which they are entitled.
Madam Secretary, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the Council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which you are entitled, and to vest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Would the graduates in the front row please rise and come to the platform? Graduates, as you make your way forward, I'll just let you know how the conferring of degrees will unfold. As you enter the stage, please stop and face the audience, as the hood will be put over your shoulders. Once you have been hooded, proceed to the first podium, where the orator will present each of you by name. Once your name has been announced, proceed to shake the Chancellor's hand, and the Chancellor then tells you that you have been admitted to the Convocation of the University of Saskatchewan. You will then continue across the stage to be greeted by your Dean or Associate Dean and the President, and you will receive your parchment from them. As you go down the steps, you will be welcomed as new members of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association by a representative of the association.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the Prairie Horticulture Certificate. I present to you Amanda Ray Appleton, Brenda Joy Appleton, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Prairie Horticulture Certificate. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness. I present to you Xiaobo Fang, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. I present to you Rosaline Ng, please join me in congratulating the recipient of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Agriculture and Bioresources and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Miriam Augalandari, Pangaj Kumar Banik, Vivek Vedant Reddy, Eram Reddy, Corey Evan Jacob, Divya Joss. Santosh Lamichane. Ashish Singhal. Felina Ten. Catherine Janet Vermet. Nirada Sajivani Widhana Gamage. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Education. I present to you Christy Noreen Adams Declare with distinction. Terry Lear Anderson with distinction. Amanda Teresa Bell with distinction. Debbie Ann Billet with distinction. Janice Corrigal with distinction. Billy Joe Drosha with distinction. Kyle Stewart Harkis. Alison Leslie Holden with distinction. Gwen Iron with distinction. Rosa Iron. Denise Iron Christian with distinction. Tessa Amber Kisko-Tagan. Brittany Elizabeth Cote with distinction. Priscilla Gail Opikaku. Rhonda Opikaku with distinction. Jolene Tatum Astin Waskawich. Jessica Crystal Yu with great distinction. Jolene Vanessa Yu with great distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Education. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the post-degree certificate in education, special education. I present to you James David Arthur Alexander. Bonnie Lee Kowalski. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the post-degree certificate in education, special education. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Education and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Education. I present to you Cora N. America. Rosemary Ansonen. Trevor Dean Baker. Beige Larissa Biggins. Craig Mitchell Blythe. Suzanne M. Bronkhorst. Gregory Stanley Babnick. Lynn Kauf Robb. Chrissy Kushen McCorister. Rihanna Grace Daniels. Dacela Dawn Debray. Claudette Nicole Degan Ellis. Megan Elizabeth Egeto. Christine N. Foley. Gladys Lynn Fraser. Christine Gatsky. Tanya Lee George. Sonia May Gregory. Christy Dawn Harrick. Dalla Dawn Hobday. Amanda Dawn Hollandsich. Curtis William Howe. Carolyn Izet. Patricia Johnson. Stuart C. Kaler. Lindsay Kathleen Keller. Carla Marjorie Kennedy. Leanne J. Cannon. Jane Beryl Kimberly. Deborah Leah Krachkowski. Kieran David Link. Joanne Rose Longneck. Jennifer Adele Mason. Pamela Renelle Mather. Adele A. Muhammad. Tisham Muhammad. Stacy Dawn Monet. Stephanie Murray Moho. Pamela Marie Newman. Nazad Neri. Kenneth George Everett Okani. Tori Sean Oliver. Olivia N. Pollack. Rebecca Lynn Peck. Sherry Lynn Pella. Darlene Heather Popov. Tracy Lynn Rodhouse. Sean George Sacher. Jacqueline John Sander. Chelsea Mary Jane Seymour. Rachel Marie Sharp. Greta Ann Marie City Chinley. Tasha Spilett. Wendy Elizabeth Sunderland. Jessie Velma Sylvester. Coralie Machene Ashon Thomas. Erica Thompson. Avel Lydia Van Dyke. Rebecca Lynn Wallace. Jermaine Kennedy Wells. Daniel Joseph Zib. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Education.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering. Ian Kenneth Plews. Amin Mohammed Diamond Rumtala. In civil engineering, I present to you Tyler Kenneth Fenton. Brett Logan Peberdy, with distinction. Timothy Philip Roth. In electrical engineering, Jesse Philip Kovac. Mitchell John Snyder. In geological engineering, Tony Joachim Rack. In mechanical engineering, James Jarus Andrew Weir. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Engineering and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Engineering. I present to you Tahane Kasaruni. Basir Mustafa. Segiru Muhammad Mustafa. Cutie Shrita. Davinder Pal Singh. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Engineering. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Engineering and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Nicole Paula Allen. Marla Ann Cheston. Uduak Idet. Shaon Gunguli. Ziad Ibn Gias. Huishu Hol. Ryan Nathan Palmer Jansen. Mogus Tekle Mamo. Glendon Wayne Rhodes. Xia Yu Sun. Yu Sun. Ahmed Alade Tiamiu. Mariam Tului Aftarushani. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Kinesiology, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. I present to you Talon Aaron Carey Black, with great distinction. Tegan Rayanne Harbage, with distinction. Jessica Page Hardcastle. Electra Laxdal, with great distinction. Alexa Rosalie Morris. Kyle Mervyn Zervinsky, with great distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Kinesiology and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Kayla Bryn Fesser. Chelsea Nicole Moore. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science. Eminent Chancellor, On behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Medicine and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Samuel Kakwaku Essien, Yana Ma, Nicholas James Miller, Sumudu Rasanjali Pereira, Dylan Joshua Shivak, Bryce Malcolm Thomas Warner, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Nursing, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I present to you Cynthia Misero Aguirre, Lindsay M. Fodi, Chelsea Lee Kemp, Keegan Musanje Milumbe, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Nursing and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Nursing. I present to you Francis Jean Affleck, Peter John Brett Enns, Nicole Ray Smith, Tracy Lynn Steele, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Nursing. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Pharmacy and Nutrition and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Sania Shiraz Alwani, Brennan Dale Bonet, Sarah Abdulhai Fatani, Nasange Avia Logan. Senzen Yao. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the School of Physical Therapy and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Physical Therapy. I present to you Nolan Paul Oxtetter. Kelly Suzanne Bailey. Kala Elise Bellick. Kevin Thomas Bergen. Christy Brianne Block. Emma Jean Burke. Valerie Lynn Caron. Tanner Cassidy. Christina Mary Charles. Kendra Christina Churchwell. Laura Megan Cowton. Jeremy Ryan Cruer. Amanda Chelsea Ann Forten. Robin Rochelle Eileen Giguère. Stephen Anthony Lee Iranici. Darren Richard Johnson. Kendra Leanne Jones McGrath. Stephanie Lynn Casmer. Justin Garrett Lemieux. Nicole Chantel Laux. Tegan Michelle Lowe. Juliana Luke. Stacy Judith Lukey. Lindsay Chantel Lundbach. Kaylee Marie Lind. Scott George McCubbing. Bridget Ann Mary McFadden. Ainsley April Oliver. Caitlin Ptolemy. Shelby Joan Schemenauer. Magdalena Clara Schlegel. Jessica Teddy Lee Shoemaker. Tracy Lynn Smetaniuk. Jessica Seatil. Paul Tebow. Carla Mae Thiessen. Matthew James Tice. Cody Nicholas Tkachuk. Tabitha Lindsay Wilson. Jennifer Ray Yowzy. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Physical Therapy. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the Western College of Veterinary Medicine, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. I present to you Brianna Marie Arnold. Marshall Lloyd Martin McDonald. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the Western College of Veterinary Medicine and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Michael Edward Kautzman. Naresh Ramesh. Andres Fernando Sanchez Terran. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the Western College of Veterinary Medicine and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Veterinary Science. I present to you Aaron Keeley-Zacher. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Veterinary Science. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present our PhD graduates. The custom at the University of Saskatchewan is for our PhD graduates, once they have been admitted to their degree, to be met by their supervisor and escorted to join the platform party in a symbolic welcome to a global community of scholars. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I present to you Ahmed Hamdi Abdel Salam. Landon Dennis Bailey. Katarzyna Bullock. Viorica Florica Bondici. Katie Lynn Crockett. David Edward Francis. Atiq Ul Hassan. Udaya Cannon. Isha Kachel. Chantel Elizabeth Kawalalak. Tracy Clarinda McDonald. Gregory Ryan Mallon. Hanisha Mohan. Tinas Paramel Jayaprakash. Anup Rana. Jennifer Ray Town. Albert Ifanyi Ugochukwu. Brian Mark Wallace. Tanya Manuela Wildeman. Yan Yan. Bing Zhang. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Eminent Chancellor, in the name of the faculties, I ask you to grant the degrees, diplomas, and certificates in absentia to those students who have met the requirements to graduate but were not able to be present today.
At the request of the faculties, I authorize these degrees, diplomas, and certificates be granted.
Thank you.
Could Kaylee Lynn please come up to the stage? Wrong side. Stage right, I guess. Eminent Chancellor, graduates, special guests, family, colleagues, and our new president. The School of Physical Therapy's Talmage E. Hunt Award was established in recognition of the founders of the physical therapy program, one of them, Dr. Tal Hunt. And some of you may have noticed in your program today that the University of Saskatchewan School of Physical Therapy is celebrating 50 years of anniversary. You can read the history in your Convocation book. And so Tal was one of the founders, and this award has been supported by the Saskatchewan Arthritis Society. And it recognizes the top Masters of Physical Therapy graduate at Fall Convocation. And I'm very, very pleased to introduce this year's recipient, Kaylee Lind. Kaylee grew up in Melfort, where she graduated from high school in 2005. Prior to advancing her academic career, she danced professionally on cruise ships for over 3 years, traveling the world. We have been very fortunate that her ship docked. This is my humorist part for the day. At the University of Saskatchewan, allowing her to pursue her Bachelor of Science in Physiology and Pharmacology. And today she graduates with great distinction with her Master's in Physical Therapy. Her outstanding academic performance was recognized early. She received a Greystone Scholar Entrance Award, and this recognition continued throughout the MPT program with other scholarships. In addition to outstanding academic performance during her Master's of Physical Therapy program, she was co-president for the Physical Therapy Students Society and continued her passion in the performing arts as a dance teacher. I can attest, as one of her professors, that she is a committed and lifelong learner. She has told us she had a wonderful time being part of the MPT program. She feels privileged to have known so many fantastic colleagues and faculty and staff, and I think it is very fair to say that any healthcare team will be lucky to have you as one of the members, and ultimately your patients will benefit from your pursuit of excellence. Kaylee's going to be moving to Kelowna, where she'll be starting work in Pinnacle Physiotherapy this November. Next year, she's getting married, and I have no doubt that we'll see her involved in the community as she moves into this new stage of her life. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Kaylee Lind as this year's Talmadge E. Hunt Award recipient.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, elders, chiefs and leaders, platform party, family and friends. It is my privilege to present Heather Birch, in absentia, as the recipient of the College of Education's Most Outstanding Graduate for the Fall 2015 Convocation. As a result, Heather is the recipient of the Saskatchewan Teachers Federation Prize, graduating with great distinction with an average of over 92%. Possessing a deep interest in learning and in the mind, Heather came to the College of Education in 2012, already with a Bachelor of Cognitive Science degree from Carleton University. She specialized in linguistics and applied language studies. With that degree, and following a period of time as a substitute teacher, she enrolled in our successful Indian Teacher Education Program, or ITEP, through our partner Aurora College in the Northwest Territories. Aurora has campuses in Inuvik, Fort Smith, and Yellowknife. Learning right at home in Fort Smith was perfect for Heather, and she became very engaged in her studies, as well as in tutoring and research, and several extracurricular and volunteer activities. Her classmates, professors, and colleagues describe her as a creative and dedicated teacher who works hard at differentiating instruction and who, through her studies and practicum experiences, developed into a highly engaging and motivating math and science teacher who always strives for excellence in herself and in her students. Although Heather can't be with us today, please join me, along with her faculty and instructors at Aurora College, in wishing Heather the best of luck at the Chief Sunrise Education Center, where she's already fully employed as a high school math and science teacher, and help me in congratulating her on her scholastic accomplishments and in winning this prize.
Eminent Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting two awards this afternoon, and the first is the President's Medal, awarded annually at Fall Convocation, that recognizes the undergraduate student with the highest academic standing. And the winner of this year's President's Medal is Heather Ann Birch. As Dean Pratula just mentioned, Heather is unable to join us today, and although that's unfortunate, I can't be more pleased with her reason. She's living in a northern community near Hay River, Northwest Territories, pursuing her dream of teaching, and traveling to be with us today was just not possible. But I wanted to say a little bit more about her just so that you would know. She credits the Indian Teacher Education Program with providing her with the high-quality education that she needed to become a great teacher while allowing her to live in Fort Smith, Northwest Territories. And I would provide equal, if not more, credit to the hard work she has put into her studies for allowing her to achieve her dreams. I believe her instructors would agree. When asked about Heather, they indicated she always strives for excellence. She's very creative in her approach to teaching, and she challenged faculty to think outside the box. She also possesses a key skill of a successful teacher, the ability to understand that different students have different needs and different ways of learning. Chief Sunrise Education Center is a community-minded school and approaches teaching differently than many of us are used to. It may not appear as structured, but using Aboriginal teachings and holistic community approach, through those, Heather is finding ways to reach her students and engage them in learning math and science. Heather, I am confident you will excel as you have at the University of Saskatchewan in your teaching career. And congratulations from all of us, not only on completing your Bachelor of Education, but in doing so with such high academic standing. You should be incredibly proud of your accomplishments. The second award that I'm honored to give today, Eminent Chancellor, is the President's Service Award, which honors non-academic staff who have enhanced the work environment by providing extraordinary service to the university community, who have inspired, supported, and respected the endeavors of others, and have achieved this distinction through dedication and commitment. And the President's Service Award at this convocation goes to Marg Brown. Marg Brown, referred to as the administrative backbone in the Native Law Centre and the lifeblood of the Program of Legal Studies for Native Peoples, embodies these criteria. She has been with the Centre since its beginnings in 1974. Although all who interact with Marg say she excels at all that she does, it's the extraordinary relationship she builds, especially with students, that makes her a worthy recipient of this award. As explained by one of her nominators, her extraordinary commitment and service to the university community over the decades has enhanced the environment for Aboriginal students by helping forge a welcoming and safe environment. Her personal and administrative commitment has supported and inspired the Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal students toward greatness. Another nominator, a student in the Program of Legal Studies for Native Peoples 24 years ago, commented on doing whatever she could to support students, including giving them a kick in the pants when that was what was needed. This nominator indicated, "We always joked that Marg would adopt the students as her own. They were her kids, and more importantly, they are her friends." One constant since the beginnings of the Native Law Centre has been her dedication and commitment to its students, staff, and faculty. Congratulations, Marg, on receiving the President's Service Award. We can't think of a more worthy recipient.
Eminent Chancellor, I am honored today to present the university's new Researcher Award to Regan Mandrick, Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science. Regan, could you please join me at the podium? The new Researcher Award recognizes one of our most promising faculty members each and every year. It is given to an individual who has earned his or her PhD in the last decade, someone who has made significant contributions to knowledge or artistic creativity and typically has already built a major international reputation. And this is certainly the case with Regan Mandrick. Regan has already achieved research breakthroughs that will improve the lives of many in both large and small ways, both near and far. She works in a field that impacts most of us on a daily basis, human-computer interaction. She studies the way we use computers and designs methods to improve those interactions. Since joining the University of Saskatchewan in 2007, Regan has become a star in this field. She has made several breakthroughs in the area known as effective computing, developing systems that can read and interpret human emotions. Her work has been picked up by other researchers and by major software companies. It has opened up a whole new world for video game and application developers. It has allowed them to see for the very first time how their users are feeling at a particular moment. For example, are they feeling excited, bored, or frustrated? And as such, it helps them build games and applications that are more exciting and less frustrating. Regan is also a leader in what is called the serious games movement, applying video games to address real-world issues. She has built methods to help children with neurological disorders regulate their emotions or perform therapeutic exercise through games. She has pioneered the design of exercise games that help elderly people and people in wheelchairs become more active. Regan's immense contributions have been recognized by her colleagues right around the world. She has received Best Paper awards at 3 of the top conferences in her field. And she has been invited to give keynote addresses all around the world at international games research conferences. Last year, she was one of the first researchers inducted into the Royal Society of Canada's College of New Scholars, Artists, and Scientists. Regan's work at home on our campus is also remarkable with our students and the university community. 3 PhD students and 9 master's students have completed their degrees under her supervision, and all have gone on to great success. Regan received her department's Excellence in Graduate Supervision Award twice for her work with students. She is a regular panel speaker on topics such as women in science, and she has helped organize more than 20 events showcasing university research, and as such, illustrating the vast potential and impact of all of our discoveries. Regan Mandrick, in less than a decade, has built a soaring reputation as a groundbreaking computer science researcher. And for her enthusiasm, her drive, her insight, she has grown into a sought-after speaker, educator, mentor, and advisor to us all. She is a visionary, an inspiration, and a warm and caring and kind individual who inspires absolutely everyone around her. Regan, I am immensely proud to have you with us at the University of Saskatchewan, and I and the world cannot wait to see what you achieve next. Congratulations on this very deserving award. Eminent Chancellor, it is a privilege to present this year's Award for Distinction in Outreach and Public Service to Alexandria Wilson. Alexandria, could you please join me at the podium? The University of Saskatchewan has traditionally held outreach and public service as part of its mission. With this award, we are delighted to recognize an employee who has made an exceptional positive impact beyond the borders of our campus. Alexandria, an educator and associate professor of education foundations, is an extremely deserving recipient. She has dedicated herself to a wide range of activities with a singular focus: improving the lives of Indigenous people. Her grassroots activism with groups such as Idle No More has helped to mobilize thousands of people, and her academic work has strengthened the reputation of the University of Saskatchewan as a leader in the field of Indigenous education. Alexandria is a well-loved educator, and she is a well-loved mentor, and is the main architect behind the land-based Indigenous education program in the College of Education. The Master of Education programs bring students to live on site at Indigenous communities during their studies. Through innovative courses, the students learn from the land and honor traditional ways of knowing. Students have described the program as life-changing and said it has helped them reconnect to their own history and their understanding of themselves as Indigenous people. It has been so successful that Indigenous groups in the Northwest Territories and Hawaii are working to bring the program to their own communities. Our university recently presented Alexandria with the Provost Award in Aboriginal Education, and the Manitoba legislature recognized her for her work in revitalizing Cree culture through education. For her scholarship on sexual minorities and anti-homophobic education, Alexandria has attracted national funding and international collaborations. Alexandria is a powerful advocate for social and ecological justice. As a leading organizer with the Idle No More movement, which calls for greater Indigenous rights and environmental protection, she has planned more than 50 events and helps lead the movement's communication efforts. Alexandria also maintains extremely strong connections to her home community, the Opaskwayak Cree Nation, where she has been involved in several environmental and educational projects. She partners with community groups and corporations. Alexandria has created and delivered cross-cultural awareness training seminars to thousands of employees, helping to build more accepting and warmer workplaces in many cities. Alexandria instills a sense of social justice in her students. In the classroom, she works to ensure that future teachers will help create safe places for sexual minorities. All of her courses include a community action project. For example, in one course she developed, students must make a concrete action plan to address trans and homophobia in their home communities. These are just a few examples of how Alexandria Wilson is energizing Aboriginal education and building a better world for minority groups, and as such, a better world for us all. Through scholarship, teaching, and activism, Alexandria serves the needs of marginalized people and inspires others all around her and all around the world to do the same. The University of Saskatchewan is indeed a much richer place because we have Alexandria Wilson. It is my great honor, my great privilege, to present the Award for Distinction in Outreach and Public Service to Alexandria Wilson.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, platform participants, graduates, and guests. My name is Jim Blackburn, and I'm Vice President of the Alumni Association. And on behalf of Tanya Blaney, our President, it's my honor and privilege to welcome you, the graduating class of 2015, and to congratulate you for your achievements to date, and we look forward to your participation in the future. Your days as a student may be over, but your bond to the university remains strong. Since that first class of 7 graduates in 1912, our alumni family has grown to over 146,000 around the world. This week, we add over 1,000 names to this alumni family, a family with a storied history of excellence, a family of well-accomplished and distinguished alumni. President Peter has previously identified a number of outstanding graduates that have gone before you, and I would like to include just a few more. The Honorable Daryl Paslowski, a pharmacy graduate who's now the Premier of the Yukon. Another is Pat Atkinson, graduated from the College of Education and one of the longest-standing MLAs in Saskatchewan's history. And from nursing, there's Kathleen Skinner, who received a Humanitarian Award in 2005 for her work with Doctors Without Borders. Clearly, you are in good company, and deservedly so. You are the next generation of alumni who will be confidently carving your own path and add chapters to the story of a great university, over a century in the making. You will be the members of the future generations. You will build up the foundations of success that has been developed over 100 years in the making. And you will do it all as lifelong members of the U of S Alumni Association. As you embark upon new endeavors and build your careers, be sure to draw on your fellow alumni. Remember the role that this institution has played in your life and make a conscious effort to keep in touch. But most importantly, display your degree you received today with pride, wherever you are, to let the world know that you are a difference maker and a leader. You now have the knowledge and tools to make that difference, and we can't wait to see what you do next. Congratulations to the class of 2015, and welcome to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. Thank you.
My name is Blaine Fable. I'm the 14th Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan, and our ceremony is coming to a conclusion in very short order. I'd like to add my voice to those that are congratulating the graduates today. A long journey. You've reached the end, and look forward to hearing about you and reading about you and learning more about your stories as you go forward and demonstrate excellence into the world. I'd like to also add my voice to those that are honoring Dr. Gable today. We honored Dr. Gable for his excellence in satire and political commentary, and Dr. Finley. Thank you so much for joining us. I was very inspired by Dr. Finley's acceptance and his song, and I was thinking to myself, sounds like a good plan, I should do the same thing. Then I realized I can't sing, and Meet the Flintstones is probably not the most appropriate song to play to you, so that's the only one I know. I'd also like to acknowledge Minister Moe and the chiefs here, all that have joined us in our celebration today. I want to also, this morning we had a wonderful ceremony, a long ceremony. This is a little bit shorter, and I think is a little easier on the graduates and the parents. We had a long ceremony installing Peter as our, Peter Storychev as our 11th president, and I told a story about Peter this morning. And he's asked me to repeat the story because I didn't quite finish the story because we're in such a hurry. And, but I'll share it with you because it has threads that are relevant for this afternoon's celebration as well. And that Peter and I, when he was Dean of the College of Arts and Science, along with some other representatives of the university, went to New Zealand this April. And in New Zealand, we visited different universities because in New Zealand, they've made great strides in incorporating Indigenous knowledge, Indigenous ways into their universities and creating reconciliation between the Maori people and the people of New Zealand, particularly in the universities. And one university we went to was the University of Watangai, and they've got a really amazing program there where they've got a language immersion program where they've taken a language that was once almost extinct in the 1970s, where the Maori did not speak their language anymore. And with commitment by the universities, working together with the Maori community, they brought the language back to this point where they have an immersion program where young Maori teachers in the College of Education that are going to be teaching Maori in schools go away and they learn Maori, and they only speak Maori for 1 year. And that's an immersion program. So we met with this group of people at that university, and one of the methods, their methodologies is they teach through song. So we had a beautiful recital of about 5 or 6 Maori songs sung by about 50 of these very beautiful Indigenous people from New Zealand. And in their culture, they speak, you speak, they sing, you sing, they expect you to sing. We'd learned that already, and this is near the end of our term, and I can't sing and I don't think the Flintstones was appropriate then, and I don't think it's appropriate now. But I understood, I didn't know Peter very well, but I heard he could play classical guitar. And so I leaned over to Peter and said, can you play them a song? Can you play guitar? And he said, yeah. I said, can you play them a song? He said, yeah, for sure he did. So we got him a guitar, and he sat there and he tuned it. And it was a 6-string guitar, not 5-string. I was telling the story this morning as well. And I turned to Minister Moe and I said, Minister Moe, how many strings in a guitar? I was getting my story ready. And he leaned across to the leader of the opposition, Cam Broughton, and Cam Broughton says there's 5 strings. And so I said in my speech this morning, there's 5 strings. And there's actually 6 strings, so he's going to blame the NDP for that. So Peter was there, and he's tuning this guitar, and it's going ping, ping, he's tuning it, ping, tuning it, and it's taking a really long time, and I'm thinking, my God, Peter, like there's only so many strings there. And then he stood up and he bowed and said, thank you very much, and to much applause by the Maori people. So in this morning's version of my story, the story stopped there, and I didn't make my president sound very good because I made him sound like he wasn't as committed. But actually what he did do, very much like we heard from Mr. Finley this morning, was he gave him an incredible performance, because Peter's a very gifted guitarist, and those of you that have privilege to hear him in the past will attest to that. So Peter gave a brilliant performance. He played a Spanish love song and just mesmerized the crowd and represented the University of Saskatchewan very well. And in his performance, he captured many values which I think are going to make him an excellent president of this university. He adapted on the fly. He did so with great class and dignity. He prepared himself, and he performed at a high level of excellence. And it's that high level of excellence which he's going to bring to this institution, which I think is going to make you proud as you go forward as alumni, as you look back on this next 5 to 10 years of his term here as president, because he brings to his job and to what he does that same level of commitment, both in his personal life and his professional life. And it's a challenge to the deans and the professors here, because that are sitting behind me. We have excellent staff here at the University of Saskatchewan, so many committed professors working 60, 80, 90 hours a week on your behalf and on behalf of all of the students here. And I ask them to aspire to greatness and aspire to excellence as you follow our new presidents, because this is what your legacy is as alumni going forward, is that this is an institution of excellence. And we're very humble as Saskatchewan people, as Aboriginal people, we're supposed to be humble, but also there should be a point in time where we say, yeah, we're pretty good, and that we actually are not only pretty good, we're excellent. And the world needs the excellence of the University of Saskatchewan right now and the excellence of this province. The world is changing. We have, in my language, we call it Gigawi now. Our mother is actually changing. The world is changing, the temperatures are changing, and global warming is happening. And we saw that yesterday. On Monday of this week, there was no storm outside the Gulf of Mexico. By Friday, it's the biggest storm ever. And they say that global warming is going to lead to greater droughts, more intense storms, and that the world really is changing. We put a lot of pressure on our mother. And the University of Saskatchewan was poised to make a difference in the future of this world. It's poised to make a difference through the efforts that are being made by the Global Institute for Food Security. It's being made, it's relevant for the work that we're doing in water security as well. The world needs the University of Saskatchewan's excellence. It also is making a difference when it comes to Indigenous knowledge, incorporation of Indigenous teachings, and reconciliation with Indigenous people. And we see that here today at the platform. I had a very quick consultation with Dean Pertul and President Stoichev, and the winner of the President's Medal, Heather Ann Birch, is the first ITEPer to ever win the President's Medal, and I'm very proud of that as a former ITEPer, that we're making those levels of success. And we're also recognizing Alex Wilson with her wonderful research and her outreach to the community. So as you go forward, alumni, now we can call you alumni, into the world, just remember that you have so much to be proud of. You are part of this family now, and we look forward to your success, and we look forward to you continuing to be part of our community, donating to University of Saskatchewan. You have to do that as alumni. There's somebody who's going to be calling you soon. No, very much so. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the parents. Celebrate Your parents, thank your parents, your mothers and fathers, your grandparents, those of you that helped you in this journey so far. Today I have a niece in the audience. I was very proud to see her graduate with a Master's of Education. My sister's here. She's very proud as well, as are all of your relatives that are joining us today. So this brings our ceremony to close, and I'd like to thank some people before we close. And those are first Darren Olderking from the University of Wind Orchestra, our vocalist Katya Hartova, our drum group Wild Horse, the University chaplain Reverend Paul Sardison. And one of the things that happens here, my job is not very complicated, and you can see sort of I come sometimes they're not ready when I'm supposed to be ready, but my job is to say I admit you to the faculty and to the academy and to the college. And sometimes I misspeak, because if you say in practice, if you say I admit you, I admit you, I admit you, eventually after about 500 it turns into I miss you, and I told a few of you already today that I miss you. So we miss you now, and we're going to miss you going forward. But thank you so much for your patience this afternoon. It's been a wonderful celebration today, a historic celebration as we install our new president, historic for your families and for yourselves as you reach this major milestone in your life. Good luck. God bless all of you. And as the orchestra plays their music, please stay seated until the platform guests leave the party. Thank you and congratulations.